A lot of people spend years in pain, but it's unnecessary. There's a lot you can do to overcome pain, and today we're going to talk about the power of visualization to support you in your healing. Let's go get that nugget. Welcome, ladies, to the Life Mastery for Women podcast. I'm Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind, your host. This is where we go to learn to master our life one nugget at a time. Hey everyone, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I am finding you in alignment with your healing. If you're not in alignment with your healing, then it is my intention that in today's episode, I give you just one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. I love talking about healing. And the reason I do is because I always used to think years ago, the big lie that I was told was that, when you're in pain, you have to take medication. And if it lasts longer than it should, then you have to go see a doctor and they will suggest more medication and or run a bunch of tests. And then most likely it's going to be surgery. And that's like the only way to deal with pain. And then sometimes when you get it, you might have to live with it forever, like arthritis, or if there's some other big thing that happens, some big tragic event that happens, you might end up in pain for life. Now, before we start this powerful episode, in my opinion, I want us to get grounded. When we are grounded, I feel like not only are we a little bit more open and receptive, but we're connected. And when we get connected to Mother Earth, we really can receive the healing energy from her. So let's do that. I want you to just sit however you're sitting, feel the support underneath you, and we're just going to call back our energy. And we do that by closing our eyes and thinking of all of the tabs, all of those mental tabs that we have open, and clicking the X on every single one of those mental tabs. It's like also picturing energetically the energy little strands that go to each of those tabs. Like every single part of you is stretched out too thin, and it's touching every single one of those tabs. And it creates this overwhelm and anxiety. I certainly know how I feel when I've got too many mental tabs open, and it's challenging. And for me, one of my biggest things that I have to do on a regular basis is to get grounded. So I want to do that now. We call back our energy, picture closing all those tabs, clicking on every single one of those X's, because after this episode, you can go back and think about those if you want, but I bet you'll do something a little bit different. So close your eyes, breathe in, just take a breath just for yourself right now in this moment, and close those tabs, close all of those worries, those doubts, those problems that you are working on, and bring your energy back into your body. And you can do this. You can put your hand on your heart and just call that energy. Just close those tabs. Call that energy back. Breathe in deeply and feel the energy in your heart and just expand your heart. And as you continue to practice this, you will feel your heart open. You will feel the energetic, the feeling, the sensation, the energetic sensation of your heart actually opening. To me, it looks like a spiral portal, and it just like goes from this little dot that's in the middle, it goes and it spins, and then it just opens. And it's an amazing feeling because I know that I'm open to receiving whatever it is that you're trying to receive. And today, we're going to talk about healing. So now I want you to picture the support underneath you, where it's touching your body. And I want you to picture those places of your body growing roots, and allow those roots to go all the way down through the foundation of the building that you're in and into Mother Earth, through the soil, through all of the layers of the planet, and go all the way to the core, and watch those roots wrap around the core, connecting you to Mother Earth. And just take a deep breath in, feeling her support, feeling her healing energy coming back up through the root system and into your body. Even this simple exercise can ground you and connect you to Mother Earth, can bring about healing. And then just relish in this moment of your body being supported by the furniture and being here with me for this moment and accepting and being open to heal. Like I said in the beginning, I love talking about healing. I love it. I love, this is going to sound a little bit weird, but I love it when there's pain in my body because then I get to practice healing. And some people think that healing takes place outside of them through medication, through doctors, nurses, practitioners, counselors, therapists, whatever. And do you remember ever hearing we have everything we need in our bodies and tucked away inside? We just need to tap into that power. And it is within this learning that can take place. It's when we shut down to trusting ourselves, trusting our inner power, trusting the truth that lies within us. When we shut that down, we are not allowing that knowledge and that truth and that healing to come in. So it's really important, in my opinion, to be open as best as possible. And sometimes it's going to be hard. But I had this really interesting experience. I did a business retreat. It was not this last Friday, but the Friday before. So a Friday, I did this business retreat, and our the lady who leads the retreat is a business coach, and her name is Michelle, and she's amazing. And I've been learning a ton and growing a ton. But she recommended this book. And I went and got the book, and I started doing a little bit of research on the author. And he had some free courses and some free videos. And so I was watching these videos. And he kind of put in there, let me just go back a second. One of the messages I got from the retreat, we did these meditations, and one of the messages I got was, the first one was, shine your light so others can see. And so that was about me shining my light and my experience and my knowledge with you, whoever's listening, in hopes that you will be able to see. So my whole foundation of what I teach is about shifting perspective. And there's lots of bricks in my foundation, but one is about shifting perspective, and being open to a new perspective is one of those things. And the other thing, there are two other messages that I got that day, so 3 total. One was shine your light so others can see, and the other one was to be open, and the other one was to trust. So I sat with that for the whole weekend and did a bunch of journaling, and she gave us some homework, and I was doing that, and I bought this book, and before the book came, I was this author, and so I was listening to some of his videos, and one of the things that he was saying is like living your divine purpose. And being on your path, we all have a destiny. We all have a purpose of being here. And our job is to basically align with that purpose to live the life that we are destined to live. And he was talking about being open and kind of expanding. And so anyway, the things that he was saying led me down another rabbit hole. And the other rabbit hole was numerology. And numerology is the study of the numbers of your birth, your full name at birth, and your birth date, the day, the month, and the year that you were born, and using all of these numbers to basically create a chart for you based on when you were born and what your name is at birth, and it creates this chart. And so I was reading into this chart, and my number is 11. And if you're in the spiritual realm, you know that the number 11 is extremely powerful, and it's called a master number, and it's one of these very spiritual, very intuitive numbers. And I'm like, wow, it's really cool. And I'm watching these YouTube videos and reading all of these, diving deep into the learning of like, what does that mean? And everything that it said was true. How I felt, the things I wanted to do, the things that I'm interested in, how I deal with stress, how I deal with excitement, the things that I want to do in the world. And it was very interesting. And one of the things that the 11 is called is the Illuminator. And as I'm watching this new video, this was like 4 days after the retreat, this lady goes, basically your job is to shine your light. And I about fell off the chair, though I deal with all these synchronicities. I hear them all the time because I'm like, I work in the spiritual realm and live in the physical reality. So anyway, so shine your light. And I'm like, no kidding. And then somewhere right after that, she said, so others can see it. I'm like, stop it. So this whole path of being at this retreat, getting this message that led me to this book, that led me to that course, which led me to numerology, that led me to watching this lady's video, that then said, hey, shine your light so others can see. I'm like, that's the exact message I got. Well, then guess what? So let's say that was Wednesday. By Thursday, I'm laying in bed, and I'm I'm a very light sleeper, and I don't usually sleep for very long. And anyway, so I'm laying in bed, wide awake, and all of a sudden, I like feel what I can only describe as expansion. Like I just feel like, and you've heard me say, if you've listened to my other episodes, you've heard me use the analogy of being in a barrel, that you're in a barrel with the lid on, and you just can't see that there's anything else to life. This is the problem. This is where I'm at. You can't see anything. And I say, do your very best to take the lid off the barrel. And that's about learning about you, learning about the you, because we spend our lives comparing ourselves to others, and we spend our lives looking outside of us for the answer when you have to take the lid off of your barrel. And so I felt like not only did I take the lid off the barrel, but I was out of the barrel, and I was standing in this field, this big open field. And the word that just kept coming, it's like expansion. There's no ceiling, there's no walls, there's no boundaries, that I'm just here and I'm like connected. And then the two other emotions that follow, and I'm sure you're going to know what these are, is open and trusting. And it was like, okay, that's it. It was like, okay, I have this destiny. I have this path. I don't always know exactly what my steps are. I know the topic, and I know that I love teaching, and I love my podcast, and I love reaching you and talking right to you from heart to heart. But I can't see past some of that. And as a business owner, that's sometimes hard. We want these tangible things. We want these goals, and we want to reach and strive and push and pull. And it's like, I feel very calm and very open and very trusting. Like I'm like, okay, I'll just wait for the direction. It was really interesting. So I laid awake thinking about that, and I could feel in my body this pulsing energy. And it wasn't just in my heart, it was in my whole body. And it was like this connected energy. And I want to not only share that experience with you, but to help you get there. The very first thing is connecting to the deeper version of you. And you do that by sitting back and relaxing, closing your eyes, turning off the world, and going inward for the answers. You know, we go outside of us, and you ask somebody, how you had this pain, how did you get over this pain? And they go, oh, this is what I did. And you go, okay, I'm going to do that too. It might not be right for you. And I use the other analogy that you're lost in Chicago, I'm lost in Detroit, and you text me and go, okay, I'm on Washington Street. In order to get to Carver, where do I go? And I go, oh, well, you got to go straight on 180, and then you have to turn left on Walton and turn right on Carver. That map of me in Detroit is not going to match the map where you're lost in Chicago. We have to match the map. We have to get the map. Well, in order to get the map, you have to tune in. You have to tune in. And the first thing you tune into is your body. Your body is the housing of the energy, the answers, the truth, the healing, the answers. Did I say answers already? The answers. And we have to shut out the external to be able to tap into our bodies. And so we do that through kind of a meditation process. You close your eyes, you turn off your ears, you go inward, and you go into this, basically this internal playground with a question, with an intention, and say, help me out. How do I get through this? How do I heal my body from this ailment? The next is that after the connection is to visualize. It's to visualize what is it that you want. When the healing is gone, well, you go in and visualize the healing. Before we do that part, you go in and visualize the healing. Go in and visualize the pain. And people are like, I don't want to look at the pain. I want to ignore the pain. I'm going to take medication. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to go. Most people don't want to feel anything because it feels terrible. I get that. But that's kind of, you're moving through the pain. If you ignore the pain's still there. The problem is still there. You didn't get rid of it. You just masked it. You just turned your back on it. Well, I'll tell you what, that pain comes from an emotional state, and that emotional state comes from a thinking state, which comes from a belief that creates the pain in the first place. So if I just mask the pain, that whole entire trail gets ignored. There's a lesson through that. There's a lesson to learn that then will move me to a more elevated state in my life. So I have to get to the bottom of it. And my coach friend says, if you're in hell, keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop in the hell. Don't ignore the pain. Feel into the pain. So you're going to visualize it. You're going to look at the pain. Close your eyes. Turn it all off. Look at the pain and see what you can see. How big is it? What color is it? What is it? Is it moving at all? Does it have heat or cool? Is it tight? Is it squirmy? Is it heavy? Look at it. And then from there, you release it. I am willing and I am open to releasing this pain. And then from there is like, is there a message in there? Do I need to learn anything? But look at, it's like we have to be open to allow new experiences into our life. And so many people are stuck with their belief system that they can't see a way out, but they're so sick of how they're living. They're downloading all these other maps from all these other states. And they're like, I'm so sick of being lost in Chicago, but I can't figure out my way out. So I don't want to move. It's like being dropped in the ocean and going, I don't know which way to start swimming. The island could be 2 miles that way, or the land could be 300 miles that way. Which way do I start? And someone says, just start. Just start going. Something will change and shift and open up for you. But if you're in hell, keep going. Don't stop and ignore it. You're going to wake up and you're still going to be in hell. So many people are suffering by their own accord, and it's hard to stand by and see that. It's hard to be a part of that. And I see it all the time. So being open and releasing that energy is, what else do I need to do? How can I release this energy? I'm just going to be open. I'm just going to let it go. I'm releasing this energy. And sometimes you'll get a message and you'll get some notification of, this was the belief, this was the thing I'm holding on to. You'll get something. And if you don't, it's okay. Maybe it's just something you just need to, just easy and quick, and you can just release it and it's gone. Now, the big aha at the end is that once it's gone, you release the pain, it's going to feel kind of empty in that space. This is where it gets fun, is that then you bring something else into that space. And that something else is the visualization part of this episode, is visualizing yourself without that pain. Is what else? How is my life going to be different? How else can I feel? And you get to create a new version of you. So you're not going to remember this, but I believe that this is the psychology of babes learning to walk. They're crawling around on the floor with all these adults and other kids walking around them. Everybody's walking on these 2 legs, and I'm rolling around on the floor, and I'm just a baby, right? I'm 16 months, 18, whatever, and I'm rolling around on the floor, but here's this adult, here's this mom, here's this dad, here's my brother, my sister, here's all these people around me, and they're all walking. Somewhere in there becomes a desire as you are seeing this greater expansion around you. We don't teach babies how to walk. Eventually, you turn around and they are standing on 2 feet. Why is that? Because somewhere in their body, as they connect with the outside version of them, they connect with the people around them, they see that they're doing something, they create the desire of that doing something, and then they start doing the thing. How about living in a household where there's little kids and you're playing music all the time and you're dancing? Pretty soon that 2-year-old is standing in front of the big screen watching the Grammys and dancing to a Beyonce song, shaking their little diaper. Well, why is that? Same thing. Now they're unaware of it. It's happening at a very subconscious level, but they are seeing something, they're exploring, they're looking at their environment, they're finding something that they like, something that they want to go, that they're seeking that expansion, and the spirit goes, yep, we're going to do that. And then the body goes, okay, I'm going to follow. But the mind goes out there first. The desire is created first. And the body then goes, okay. The body then acquiesces and goes, okay, let's learn to walk. Okay, let's learn to dance. Okay, let's learn to ride a bike. Right? Now, this is where you're at. You've released the pain. Now you have to project your thoughts in your mind and go out and look around you and go, what am I going to do now that the pain is gone? What is my life going to be like? How different? What is the elevated version of myself that I want to create? Now, it is interesting because right here, a lot of you are feeling immediate resistance. Yeah, Jen, but I've had this pain for 32 years. Yeah, Jen, but no one can figure this out. Yeah, Jen, I went to all of these doctors and all of these people and all this medication and nothing helped me. I go, right, because you're stuck in Chicago and they're giving you maps to Mumbai and San Diego and Austin. They're just, as we say, they're just throwing shit in the wind and hoping it doesn't stick. Or the others throwing shit at the wall and hoping something does stick. And you're trying it. How long are you going to try it? If it's been 32 years, brother, sister, it is time. If you've been dealing with pain for longer than 24 hours, in my opinion, it is time to try something different. And that is going inward. And that is, I am going to trust, I'm going to be open, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Because all of those things haven't worked. So going inward, connecting with the source energy of you, calling back, just like I did in the beginning, close the tabs, call back your energy, sit with your heart, picture roots growing down into Mother Earth, connecting with Mother Earth, setting the intention of healing energy coming forward, then connect with the pain, visualize the pain. How big is it? What color is it? What is it doing? How is it moving? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Visualize the pain and then be willing and open to release it. I release this pain. I give this pain back to Mother Earth. It's just energy. Once we release the energy, we can heal. But if we keep holding on to it, we're not going to heal. Picture the hose. If you've listened to my episodes, you heard me talk about the garden hose connected to the spigot, pointing at the garden, and we're standing there kinking the hose. Well, you have to be willing to let the hose go, to let the life force energy move through the hose that's moving through our body. We have to unkink. We have to let go. And in that process of letting go, when I first let go of the hose, do you see that the kink in the hose is still kind of there? You still sort of see the little dimples. It's still sort of there, right? Well, guess what? I can grab that hose and kind of manipulate it and wiggle it back and forth. And eventually you can't tell that there was ever a kink there. So you have to be patient. I invite you to be open and to be allowing life force energy to move through your body, because it is a natural progression of who you are, is this life force energy moving through. We have to allow it to take place. But when we kink it through our beliefs and thoughts and the things outside of us, where someone says you should do something a certain way and you don't want to, but you do it anyway, whatever, that's kinking the hose. You believe that the world is created outside of you. Those beliefs are going to kink the hose, because then you're always going to be looking outside of you for answers. Once you release it, then it becomes creative and it becomes exciting. What can I do? But you have to be open. And if you're not open, then I ask you, what are you getting from holding on to this pain? What are you getting from that? When we tap into the victimhood mentality, we get a lot of feedback from that. We get people doing things for us. We get attention. We get cards in the mail. We get compassion. We get some understanding. But you know, if you keep going, eventually all that stuff fades away. People stop sending you cards because they're like, dude, you're just not getting better. There's like this thing. Then they kind of pity you. You ever been there? Where you just aren't getting anymore what you want. When it first happens, you get this excitement and this attention and this compassion and maybe some gifts and cards, and people do stuff for you and they bring you meals or they take care of things for you or whatever. And it kind of feels good. Like the attention kind of feels good. But if it goes on too long, do you notice that attention is different? Now people don't really want to hear about it anymore, because there's more power in empowerment than disempowerment. When you start stepping into your power and owning the abilities that you have tucked away deep inside of you, you begin to shift and to play with the energies that are already there and already ready and available to you. Healing is one of those energies. And I don't know about you, but I want to live an empowering life, and I want to take hold of all of the things that are available to me. And I'm going to do that by shifting my thinking inward to create a new outward. Now, Amy and I now I'm dealing with a little bit of knee pain, this weird knee pain. And sometimes it kind of renders me a little bit immobile. It's certainly the bending, if I have to squat down or up and down stairs, are really painful. I'm like, we're going to do a grounding this morning. And we did, and we set the intention, and we do this check-in and intention and grounding. And I said, we're going to bring up this healing energy. And ever since I got up, it's like up and down the stairs and whatever, it's been really painful. So I'm like, we're going to bring in this healing Mother Earth energy. By the time we were done with our grounding meditation, which I just walk us through, the pain was gone. Just like that. That's what I'm talking about. And that's how fast it is. And I want that same for you. So just to reiterate, connecting first, visualize the pain, being open to release the pain, and bringing in new, balanced, healing energy. What would your life be like if you didn't have this pain? And it could just be, I could just walk easier. Fantastic. Visualize that. What's at the base of that? Bring that in. The base of that is strength. The base of that is confidence. The base of that is self-love. Whatever it is for you, breathe that energy in and saturate that space that you just took that pain out. And watch the magic happen. As we conclude today's episode, I'm thrilled to share something special with you, our Rise Up and Revitalize virtual retreat. Imagine a transformative experience designed to elevate your mind, body, and spirit. It's not just a retreat, it's an invitation to rediscover your potential. Are you curious? Join us for a journey of renewal and empowerment. Visit the link that I added in the show notes to learn more and embark on the next journey of your vibrant life. Until next time, keep looking for those nuggets.